Camera number 319 of 365, and it's the Olympus OM101. I've done the 707, I believe. I think that's what it is, which is slightly more feature rich. But this is nonetheless, certainly on paper, very competent taker of photographs. Requires batteries to power all its functions, and the batteries are housed in the grip. 4 AAA batteries, and make sure that we're careful of that plastic door. We have our little button for our film rewind, which of course is done automatically in this camera, as is the film advanced as well, and then a tripod mount. On the front here, our lens release. Now, to benefit from the camera, we really need these Olympus zoom lenses. However, it does take, and is quite happy to take, OM lenses, Zucchio lenses, manual lenses. So, but of course that then restricts the camera to an aperture priority camera with a manual lens. Whereas with one of these lenses, you have a little bit more functionality. So let's just continue on the front here. Just the only other thing is a backlight button, exposure compensation button, effectively. So let's just put the lens back on. Make sure I've got it right. There we go. So this particular lens is a 35-70 lens, and we have to manually rotate it to get those focal lengths. But to focus, we don't use the front, we actually use the power focus button. So we've got the camera off at the moment. We can check the battery. We can hear that, the audio tone. And then we can put it onto program mode, which does all the thinking for us. So the camera exposes and chooses the correct aperture and shutter speed. All we have to do is focus, and we do that by literally turning the button. Very noisy, I must say. And that's just purely focusing it, so not really autofocus at all. That kind of twilight zone between manual focus and autofocus. And then we rotate our collar for the focal length. We do have a self-timer, our shutter button, and then on the other side we've got program mode, but we can go into aperture priority mode. Now, the way we need that, we can go there, is by using an adapter, as is indicated on the front here. So you probably notice the bare port there. So let's just get the manual adapter, which looks like this. There we go. The Olympus manual adapter 2, and that just basically gets bolted on to the camera. Let's just do that. And then with this adapter on, we now have more than just program mode. We have aperture priority mode or manual mode. Now, if we don't have the adapter, the way we can get aperture priority mode, of course, is to use a manual focus lens. So the camera could actually be quite interesting, couldn't it, to us? I'm having a lot of struggle, so I'm going to come off camera and just do that. Right, so eventually we got the adapter on, and so then we can, as I say, we can now open up the world of aperture priority mode, and basically we choose our aperture, and the camera responds by setting the correct shutter speed. If we want to go manual, it's a sort of metered manual mode. There is an up and down arrow that indicates the exposure, and so by changing our shutter speed and aperture, we make sure that we get the sort of 2 arrows, I believe it is, in sync, and then we're good to go. So kind of metered manual mode. So there we go. So an interesting bit of a curiosity. We can take our film out of our camera. It's DX coding. In fact, the camera says it only accepts DX coded film, so note to user there. There we go. So it makes it a little bit clunky perhaps, very plastic, but quite a strong plastic, not the kind of that creaks as you hold it. So I'll be very interested to see how I get on with it. I got on previously with the other one okay, so should be no reason why I shouldn't. So the Olympus OM101 power focus, and that is camera number 319 of 365.